Hey everybody, welcome to another.
We got Xander talking about Over the Hedge before GTA 6. That's skibbity poggers. What the hell was that? You're being El Riz right now, dude. No, I heard what you said. Why did you say it? El Riz, you know, skibbity Libby Dun Riz Baby Grom. What are you saying? Are you having a stroke? Dude, don't be cringe, dude. Oh, I'm cringe. All right, you're evicted. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck.
That intro was pretty shit, I'm sorry. Kind of like Disney or any major studio, you're bound to find out that, hey, nobody talks about that. But that's also why we appreciate those movies. For Disney, it's movies like Bolt, a Goofy movie, and Treasure Planet. But for Dreamworks, I think of movies like The Road to El Dorado, Flushed Away, and of course, Over the Hedge. One of the most forgotten Dreamworks movies ever. And one of my favorite animated movies. If I was to ever discuss my top 50 movies of all time, which maybe if we get to a certain milestone, maybe I will. That was cringe, I'm very sorry guys. Anyways, Over the Hedge would unironically be on my top 50. It's one of those comfort movies, like the 2011 Muppets movie. I need to talk about that. I've talked about it like twice on this channel without even mentioning the movie itself. Anyways, I watch it not to feel different about cinema, but to feel warm and happy. And today, we're taking a look to see what made this movie so special back in 2006, and what makes it special now. Also, I'm realizing how many childhood movies were around when I was 4. You want to know how good this movie already is? The opening shot is of a vending machine. As a matter of fact, it's one of the most accurate vending machines in an animated movie. For months, many Dreamworks animators would go to local parks and offices to study the vending machines there, and eventually the final product would be this. And this is RJ, voiced by Bruce Willis. Actually, you'll pick up that this movie has an insane cast. Not only is that Bruce Willis, but this cast also has legends like Gary Shandling, Steve Carell, William Shatner, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Wanda Sykes. This is a cast of B, maybe even A-list actors. And not all of them work fully, but the ones that do really shine. In any other movie, this kind of cast would just be used to sell tickets. But the fact that they have this many grade A names on it and it doesn't feel like a cop-out, it feels like a genuine thing that these very funny people are trying to make work, is honestly very commendable. We see RJ scavenging for food, but has no luck and decides to steal from a bear named Vincent, voiced by Nick Nolte.
Woo! That was close.
Nick Nolte is another great choice for casting. Look at this bear without any voice. Admit it, you already thought of Nick Nolte. He always has that very raspy and gritty voice that complements any terrifying or threatening character. RJ destroys Vincent's food, and Vincent now has to kill him, but RJ cuts him a deal.
A blue cooler. Blue cooler? On my list! Gotta be blue? Yes.
Why can't it be a red cooler? What, you think blue coolers are better? Blue cooler supremacist? Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm just gonna kill you now.
How great I am.
You know, a few videos back, I talked about how Phil Collins' music in Brother Bear distracted from the more touching and important scenes because it's just Phil Collins singing instead of a score. I find it really funny that Ben Folds does the exact same thing in this movie, but the music is, I don't know, better. I really feel like this music should distract, but A, Dreamworks already had a thing with putting pop songs in their movies. Sometimes it worked, other times it was the Monsters vs. Aliens piano scene. Here, Ben Folds' style already complements the film's suburban feel. Every single track is a straight banger.
Follow me into the great unknown. It's only every...
After our opening, we get to meet the family. We have Vern, a turtle voiced by the late Gary Shandling. I was definitely split at first on whether or not Shandling would be a good choice. For one, we already have one actor who plays a more paranoid approach, with William Shatner, and Gary Shandling not necessarily is a bad choice, but he has a very choice sense of humor. None of that matters because everything this reptile says is gold.
I'm not done, Hammy. If you have to go again, just go. Huh? What is it?
What is what?
What is it you want to tell me? Ah! Ah! Ay, ay, ay. You're the devil.
I'm not kidding. Next to Steve Carell and William Shatner, Shandling's delivery is pure gold. It's one of those performances that I dare say it wouldn't have been the same if it was a different voice actor. With that, we also have other characters, including a porcupine couple named Lou and Penny, voiced by Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, respectively. You know, they were in a show literally called Schitt's Creek, and somehow this is still the weirdest thing they've been in together. We also have Hammy, a hyperactive squirrel voiced by Steve Carell. Having rewatched this after a performance of Carell's I found insufferable with If, I was expecting fully to look back on this performance and cringe at every line this buck-toothed crackhead said.
Well, this cookie's junk!
I like a cookie.
Yeah, he's the best character in the movie. First of all, this was just after The Office had premiered, so it helps that he was known to be funny. And not to mention, he had one of those movies where if you say 2000s comedy, usually it's a name that pops up. And man, he probably is the only character where every line he says is funny. Also, Hammy did the Quicksilver scene first, and now I can fully confirm with the knowledge that the Quicksilver scene copies Over the Hedge that X-Men Apocalypse is indeed a bad movie. There's also Stella, a skunk voiced by Wanda Sykes. She's fine. And so is Stella. Oh, mama. No, I'm not catching Zoophilia on them hoes. Outside of one scene, I can't really remember anything that funny said by her, but it does help that Wanda Sykes already has a voice that's just immediately funny in my head. There's Ozzy, an opossum voiced by William Shatner. Another character I fully expected not to like, but another character that's genuinely surprising me in how funny he is. The idea of a possum playing dead might not seem that funny, but add Shakespeare theatrics, and it's some of the funniest non-hammy bits in the movie.
Limbs growing.
And then there's Heather, Ozzy's teenage daughter, voiced by Avril Lavigne. I didn't like her as much as I thought I would. First of all, this came out in 2006. Let Go and Under My Skin were huge in the 2000s punk rock scene. It feels like she was the only celebrity that they just wanted to put her name on the poster. Also, listen to some of these lines.
We like worked our tails off, you know? Like a lot. And the food we gathered was totally, you know, and you're all whatever.
Not all of her lines are like that, but it feels like she genuinely only exists to be Avril Lavigne as a possum. She's not bad, but she's generally the only character that felt out of place. And for a cast of literal celebrities, I guess that's a good thing. I just gotta make sure someone will just get on Photoshop here. And yet, it's confirmed Heather is just Avril Lavigne's persona! If I start seeing Heather fursuits because you motherfuckers, I kill myself. Okay, so in terms of the movie, Hammy finds the hedge that blocks their home from the newly built suburbs. Vern goes to check out the suburbs, though he does so after Hammy name drops his voice actor.
Let's call it Steve.
And it's this scene of Vern being fucking mutilated that made me realize the angles in this movie really do help the scale of the movie. To us, everything Vern is experiencing is literally just normal stuff like people driving and children's toys. But something that these movies with these animal characters choose to forget is to make it known that the animals are in fact smaller than most of these normal things. This movie makes things seem bigger than they actually are because to Vern and the other animals, they are bigger. After Vern gets traumatized, he tries to convince the family that they'll be okay as long as they keep away from the suburbs. But RJ comes in to assure them that there's nothing to be afraid of.
It is the gateway to the good life.
So what you're saying is we gotta go over the hedge? No!
We make a good team.
Yeah, little did we know, the specific shot made the entire fandom of this movie say these two characters belong together. You guys are fucking weird. You get introduced to two of the film's other villains. Gladys, the original Karen, voiced by Allison Janney, and the Exterminator, Dwayne LaFondant, voiced by Thomas Hayden Church. Gladys is cool, and I like that Janney captures the exact vibe of a Karen, but Dwayne is a genuinely great Dreamworks villain. He's insanely well done just by how humorous he is, yet how despicable he comes off as. All he's doing is what he's paid to do, yet he's so evil with it. Does he just do the job for the money? Does he get enjoyment out of this? We see that despite him using the family, something that he clearly is doing, RJ actually starts to get attached to the family somewhat.
Just say it out loud. I am a dirtbag.
Dirtbag? I don't think that guy's a real doctor.
You're disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
And honestly, that's a very tough dilemma.
Play?
Oh, this annoying ass dog ain't funny worth shit. Until he bites the Verminator's balls off.
Play?
I'm also going to say that Vern lashing out at the family doesn't really feel in character. It feels like they just wanted to create conflict that didn't really feel warranted. We already have the liar reveal trope that comes in later, so this kind of feels unnecessary. After one of Ben Folds' best songs on the soundtrack, we get the family making up and creating their heist to steal from Gladys's house. They decide in order to distract the cat guarding the door, we gotta make sure furries watch this movie.
Oh.
Are you cheating on me? I show you the Diane foxing tussie and you do this to me?
Baby, no, I'm not gonna continue that. I'm gonna get on a fucking list. I blame Dreamworks for my taste in women, alright? The cat, Tiger, is actually pretty funny. He's voiced by a guy who perfectly nails the personality they were going for. Stella! The animals raid the house, and I get reminded of some childhood trauma. Oh, cool. Also, throughout the film, Heather was embarrassed by her dad playing dead and was almost always against it because of how weak it is. And then she plays dead despite having no development on her feelings towards playing dead. Okay, she had one thing where she said it was cool when Ozzy played dead in the street, but oh, look, I need any reason I can get to justify not liking Avril Lavigne's persona, alright? Eventually it comes out, oh no, RJ lied, we trusted him. This is actually a common thing for movies of this time called the liar reveal trope that is usually not very well done in movies, but A, it's not dwelled on too long, and B, it's funny when they do dwell on it because they keep throwing RJ out of the Verminator's truck later on, and that's funny, damn it.
Thank you, yes.
Actually, the whole climax is well done. It's one of those scenes that works because it blends everything we've seen beforehand, like the explosion bit I mentioned earlier, the villains coming together, Vern's shell coming off like we saw in the Rabbit Hammy scene. Oh yeah, by the way.
Yahoo!
Zooey mama. Alright, I'm over it. Okay, guys. Watch and love! It's a perfect blend of the film's humor and just everything that worked before working in a big climax. Also, Suck it, X-Men nerds, Apocalypse sucks! For me, I think what works about this movie comes down to its comforting suburban feel. For 2006, this film has some grade A humor, a funny-ass cast, and just the right amount of love and care. Movies like Kung Fu Panda or Prince of Egypt are clearly better movies, but if you get the chance, take a look over the hedge. I got your ass!
You're Sigma, okay? You got max aura!
Get out of here!